Okay, there to breakers. The Tesla Cybertruck bomber up in Las Vegas has now been exposed to have revealed 2 letters, including one that leads to Area 51. In addition to this, he has sent Sean Ryan an email, which is a famous YouTuber, and this email was saying that the government, the U.S. government or China was behind the drone, saying only the U.S. or China is capable of releasing the drones in Vegas. Tell me how in the hell is someone that came from Texas, went down to Las Vegas to blow up a Cybertruck in front of the Trump Tower, send emails to random YouTubers to warn them about the U.S. and China's involvement in drones, and then just so happened to have coordinates that he leaked that leads to Area 51, which just so happens to be close to Las Vegas as well, a lot closer than Texas. It's a lot to dive into. It has gotten much weirder. We're about to break into it now.
But with that, just as a preview for as we get information, we're trying to be as transparent as possible. There were a couple pieces of content we thought were important to share for now. One is in the note application. He seemed to have 2 letters. One letter in particular, as you can see here, this is an excerpt from that letter. He says, fellow service members, veterans, and all Americans, time to wake up. We are being led by weak and feckless leadership who only serve to enrich themselves.
So that's the letter that he sent out. One of the letters, he's saying that, oh man, this is so crazy. It's very reminiscent of that United Health CEO, and it's at the point now it's starting to look like these individuals, the United Health CEO, the New Orleans massacre, and the Cybertruck bomber, they have a lot of similarities. These are individuals that want to go against the American establishment. Why is it that they all woke up at this time to cause havoc? That is super, super sus, and I'm sure anyone that's watching are skeptical as well.
He goes on to explain a variety of other grievances and issues, some political, some personal, a variety of other things, which we will do our best to release very quickly here. But then there's a second letter where there's some more excerpts. This one seems to be dated after the fact in that notes application. And in there, you can read a couple of the excerpts. We are the United States of America, the best country, people to ever exist. But right now, we are terminally ill and headed towards collapse. This was not a terrorist attack. It was a wake-up call. Americans only pay attention to spectacles and violence. What better way to get my point across than a stunt with fireworks?
It sounds just like the United Healthcare CEO, the same ideology. I mean, this guy reminds me of Luigi Mangione. It's crazy. It's crazy when you look at this. And he's saying it's not a terrorist attack. It's a wake-up call. What are we being woken up to? Because it does appear that they're trying to usher in a new society of the establishment versus the people that helped them get established. It feels as if they're trying to pivot us to an era of anarchy. Revolutionary. I don't know if they want to put people in that mindset, but they are definitely trying to become martyrs. The messaging, the explosion, even with the Luigi, it's as if they want to be the hero in the story. And you can't help but wonder what is wrong with the mindset of these people. Have they been touched? Have they been manipulated? Because strange that everyone's coming up at one time and they're all these vigilantes at this point. They're not the terrorists that your mom and dad knew. No, these people want the clout and fame. It's a lot different than what we're used to seeing, and I hope people are noticing that.
Explosives. Why did I personally do it now? I need to cleanse my mind of the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burden of the lives I took. I'd like to just also expand on that and understand that these are just excerpts in there. He does offer additional information that is varying on the spectrum in terms of political grievances, issues about the conflicts elsewhere, not here, domestic issues, societal issues, a variety of other things, including personal challenges as well. We are intending to release those initial letters so people can understand the best they can what the person's thought process was at one point in time. However, please understand there is still a lot more content to go through, and that may change. There may be a lot more information that we recover that explains either more or shows a change in mindset at different times.
Do you want to read the email?
Yep. So this email came in on...
Here's YouTuber Sean Ryan. Well, on the Sean Ryan show, it'll be exposed about the email that was sent to him. And this is really worth looking into, because who in the hell sends a email to an individual before blowing himself up in Las Vegas, of all places, with the Cybertruck. His name is Sam Shoemate. He's the one who revealed the information on the Sean Ryan show. So please retract my original statements on the intro.
On December 31st at 10:42 a.m. That is Tuesday. He said, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones, he puts that in quotes, he says drones, is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only we in China have this capability. Our OPSEN, that's Operations Center, our OPSEN location for this activity is in the box below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they use the balloon for SIGINT and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time.
It makes you wonder, what is this man trying to gain? At least with Luigi Mangione, we would understand that he was trying to turn people against the healthcare system, trying to, I guess one could say, expose the negatives of the healthcare system and the greed of those that are in charge of it. It's kind of easy to see where Luigi Mangione was coming from, but yet it is very hard to understand what was the goal of this man who blew himself the hell up in releasing emails to YouTubers, leaving notes that talks about America and China. He doesn't make sense. This Tesla bomber thing is so confusing, and it gets more confusing than this. Yes, it actually is going to get more confusing. We're now getting information that he appeared in an inside, man, this is crazy. The bomber appeared in a TV show where military is engaged in competition. You know I'm going to have to play that for everyone.
The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. U.S. government needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive V-bid. Let me pause right there for a second. So he says a massive V-bid. When I was talking to the FBI yesterday, they didn't know what a V-bid was. I had to explain what that acronym meant, literally.
You fucking serious?
Dead serious. I said it twice, and he goes, you said that word V-bid. Can you tell me?
Oh, this is so incompetent that it's terrifying. And these are supposed to be the individuals we're supposed to trust for safety. It does not make sense. And this is supposed to be the FBI. And a YouTuber has to explain to them about a term. If that isn't a perfect analogy for what America has become, they're dependent on influencers and independent speakers to even understand how the world works anymore. It's like the same way how police don't have to look for drug dealers and people that's breaking the law anymore just because they're putting it all on the internet. They don't have to work anymore. It's as if the people are ruling the world yet again, but without the power and benefits.
Tell me what that is. For your audience, a V-bid, for your audience who has not been in the GWOT for the last 20 years, a V-bid is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. In layman's terms, a car bomb, what we saw at Trump Tower. So, backing up, he says, I am armed and have a massive V-bid. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. Here's where he gets into the other stuff. And this is where we had to redact the names. Well, your producer redacted the names. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civcas, that's civilian casualties, that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. U.S. FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft and CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with US FORA and Agent Redacted of the DEA, so I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with Redacted IO staff on this as well as the response to Bala Murghab. Redacted commander at the time, Redacted can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. Then he says, for vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty 18 Zulu out of 110, that's 1st Battalion 10th Special Forces Group. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP, USAP access.
What is USAP? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
And here's the coordinates that was leaked. It brings them right to Area 51. This is where I tell you guys, it gets so much. Like I was mentioning, it's in Vegas, out of all places. Very strange. He goes to Vegas, close to Area 51, reveals the coordinates, confirming that these anti-gravitational devices are coming from Area 51. Now, it is somewhat strange and kind of feel kind of psyopy, because anyone that claims they're part of a big project claims to be from Area 51, but it also gives it a little bit of validity just because Area 51 is actually a military base that is used for any type of air type of vehicle. We do understand there has been training for anti-gravitational devices at Area 51, and they're typically air hangar type of military establishment. I know a lot of conspiracy theories about the situation at Area 51, and I know for a fact you, the viewer, do too. But on paper, beyond any conspiracy, they do actually test new aerial weaponry at Area 51. I find it strange that this individual was saying that he was riding around in a freaking car bomb all around the city, saying his text messages were being tracked and whatnot, yet the FBI didn't go pick him up. The whole thing is very, very odd, and it's extremely vague when these people are exposing things, if you notice it. And it really does feel like we'd be watching a movie. That's why people feel like it's scripted. If he was revealing all this information on this YouTuber and wanted to be a martyr and wanted to get information out there, why not put everything on the floor? Why not reveal it all? You know, reveal why they're searching for you. Reveal why you would go to Mexico. No, they just give us answers that lead to more questions, which is why I be like, man, I swear the world stage is being written by movie directors, because they perfectly know how to present information to us that keep us on the edge of our seat while telling us nothing at all. And it takes a skilled individual to do so, not a active duty military veteran that has gone unhinged. No, it's as if they follow a script that's so perfect that gives you everything and nothing at the same time. It does feel orchestrated when you look at it in this type of perspective. I can't help but be skeptical about the whole thing.
But I checked his credentials on LinkedIn. So that was the first thing I did. I went to his LinkedIn page. First thing I noticed was all of his bona fides were in place. He has all the UAS training from USASOC and everything else. And so I said, okay, at least the guy knows what he's talking about with drones. That was a very rough dig into the guy. But my issue was I couldn't validate or verify any of this information. And I told him that. And how I responded to him was in a subsequent email. I said, this is obviously a very big deal, but I don't have anything to verify this information with. Talking about gravitic propulsion systems without evidence just makes me another UFO talking head. Like, I'm not going to go on my social media page and start talking about UFOs and anti-gravity systems and everything. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't.
It hurts the audience trusting you if you just go, quote unquote, unhinged like that. But something else is interesting is, why would he reach out to this YouTuber? What is he trying to gain by releasing this? Okay, we somewhat already know that America can make UFOs. Big deal. What does this harm with us? Now, he did reveal that they're expecting an attack on the East Coast with China. That's very interesting. But what was his role in the military? He was a Green Beret. But how did he know so much? Why was he able to be on leave if this dude was on an investigation? I was in the military. How the hell, if you're unhinged and they know that you're about to commit an attack that's possibly bad, if the government's already watching you, how do they allow you to go on leave? It'd made more sense if this was an AWOL soldier, but this was a soldier that was following every appropriate step to go on vacation and leave that post. Super odd.
And he said, can I get on Fox News Contact on Signal as well as Sean's show? Hegseth would be good too. That was his last message to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, what is a gravitic propulsion system?
To be honest,
Behind you.
Kevin Nye with NBC News. How would you describe his state of mind in these final days, given everything that you read from his notes app and the manifesto that you see that you reference going around the podcast? Have you guys been able to rule out that it was not for him, or is it still up in the air that it could have been for him?
Now, for those that don't know, this is a video of the Las Vegas police confirming what this YouTuber, Jeremy Ryan, well, not the YouTuber, but what Shu said on that show about the Vegas guy sending them an email. So it comes out to be true that the email was actually sent. It's not a conspiracy. It's not what if. He did send this email out. But here's what Vegas has to say about the whole scenario. I mean, this is truly, man, what the heck is going on with 2025, guys?
So the question is, how would I describe his state of mind in the manifesto that was described on the podcast? Have we been able to determine whether that was from him or not? And I'll answer the first part is, I'm not comfortable giving you state of mind just yet. I certainly am leaning a particular way, but again, I'd like to be factual to you. I think when you read the documents that we're going to give you a link to at the end of this press conference, that you can go in and make some of your own assumptions about what that is. But I will tell you that part of my hesitation on that is, I know that we have a lot more documents and number of things for us to uncover, and so I want to be able to provide to you only the factual information when I have it. And so I'm not gonna opine on what I believe his state of mind was at that particular time, but certainly you can see some troubling aspects in his personal life as well. And I don't know if you want to address the second part, Spencer.
Yeah, so in terms of the so-called manifesto that's circulating online, we have strong evidence to suggest that it was the subject that wrote it, but we haven't conclusively proven that yet. And
They're saying that they're leaning towards, when they say that, they're about 95% sure. They just got to go through formalities to tell you that it's what it is. But long story short, they're confirming that email manifesto that links to Area 51 is true. Is that not freaking odd? Like, what is this? January the freaking 3rd. And we're talking about UFOs, China, with the imminent attack on the East Coast. In addition to them being linked to the New Jersey drones, like, is this a Scooby-Doo parody of real life? Bro, what the HE double hotkey sticks is really going on in America?
evidence relates to other evidence that we're finding that we're able to compare that lead us to believe it was in fact him who sent it.
So, if you guys please observe, this is video footage of the Tesla bomber scrolling through Las Vegas, charging the Tesla Tower, acting as a regular individual without any signs of terrorism whatsoever. He drove this big thing from Texas, rented this thing from Turo, and treated it like a regular person would. They just found video footage of him charging it. Now, I will say, we have more data of this individual than we do of Luigi, and then we do of the New Orleans terrorists in one day. Then we have... Oh, 1 second. I'm sorry. Just cut me off. So, I added a screenshot. It shows right here, verifying from the original source, Sean Ryan, stating that it did indeed lead to Area 51. You guys can check yourself. These coordinates lead directly to Area 51. So he exposed that in addition to him having to be on run. Like, I'll tell you, the story gets crazy as hell. Sean Ryan wrote, "My family and I are disappearing for a few days. My account will be active, but it will not be me behind the wheel. What we are about to release is mind-boggling, and it will raise a lot of questions. All media requests need to go to my producer." And it shows I'm exposing a lot on the internet of the public. It comes with a price. I'll take all prayers I can get. Thank you. So it's a very eerie message that he left everyone with. And he's claiming that he has something that is going to blow the whole internet away that's coming very soon. I would assume that it would be releasing in less than 6 days. I would assume less than 6 days. But it's time to get to, in my opinion, the strangest part of this entire story.
Show that pits teams of elite soldiers from around the world against each other.
Matt and Tim.
As promised, here's the video of the Cybertruck bomber, Matt Lewisburg, being featured in a video about the military.
From the U.S. Army Special Forces, better known as the Green Berets.
Matthew Livelsberger and his partner Tim Kelly, both Green Berets, appeared on the Ultimate Soldier Challenge 12 years ago on the History Channel. They not only won.
Now, gang, I'm going to tell you what. I've been trying my hardest, probably ever since I was 19 to become an influencer, a creator, etc. And it's not easy. It's far from goddamn easy. And I find it strange that him and also Thomas Macy, no, sorry, not Thomas Macy, the individual, the first Trump would-be assassin, was also in a BlackRock commercial. And it's like, how did these individuals somehow get in front of the camera before crashing out? How do they get these amazing opportunities? This is where people start to come with the whole PSYOP thing. Like, it's like the world is a stage and they keep choosing the same characters to play different roles.
It wasn't even close.
For television, they always try to make it a little bit more competitive, but we swept the whole entire show.
When he appeared on the show, Livelsberger used a shortened version of his name, Matt Berg. So it took Tim Kelly a while to put 2 and 2 together.
And then I saw a Matt Berg with a older photo of him, and I was like, oh no, dude, I know that guy. And then it just like tore my heart out because he was a really great Green Beret.
And what was he like?
He was charming. He was talented.
I was over at Fort Bragg. I was stationed there, home of the Special Forces, and they're also home of the Airborne and home of the Delta Force, if you know, you know. It's a great military base, pretty strict. I know you run everywhere you go, which is different from most base. And they're really, I got out in 2016, so things could be a lot different now. I know it was becoming more woke, but it generally was considered the original Army. It was a base that stayed true to their tradition. So if he was a high-speed soldier at Fort Bragg, it means he was one of the best soldiers in the entire world. There's no doubt.
He was personable. He was kind. He was all the things that you would expect from a Green Beret.
At one point during the show, Livelsberger lost his cool in the 90-plus degree heat.
I'm about to throw up, man. I got heat exhaustion, man. I need to take this off right now.
Tim Kelly says he hadn't heard from Livelsberger for a few years.
It just categorically does not make sense. From everything that I have heard, he was universally valued by his team, by his peers. I don't understand. It doesn't make
Luigi, him, the would-be Trump assassin are all very intelligent individuals that are respected by their peers.
sense, and it is just horrifically heartbreaking.
It's weird. It's weird, it's weird, it's weird, it's weird. And as you guys know, the more details that arrive, I'm going to present it to you. I'm not going to romanticize the whole thing. I'm just here to get to the facts. I'm here to present them to you guys. But as of right now, the Cybertruck bomber at the Trump Hotel, International Hotel, in Las Vegas is linked to alleged attacks from China that's going to take place on the East Coast. Area 51 went to the same base, was both stationed at Fort Bragg just as the New Orleans terrorists. They were both deployed at the same time in the same year. Sent out the email, dude. To a YouTuber, was being tracked by the being tracked by the government, although they didn't do anything to stop him. Had a kill switch in his vehicle, and sustained gunshot wounds to the head before the explosion. I just don't know, and I'm just at a loss of words. I wonder if the Tesla truck has any type of cameras on the inside that could show what happened with the gunshot wound. And don't forget that the family of the bomber came out to expose him. His uncle said that, hey, if he wanted to blow off half of the side of that Trump building, he could have. So it doesn't make sense to me why he didn't, go all the way out. Doesn't make sense to us either. And it doesn't appear that his intention was to harm citizens. And even more so, the fact that he chose the Tesla truck and the way that they say the Tesla's truck did a good job at sustaining the damage, he was a Green Beret. maybe that was intentional too. Maybe he wanted to ensure that he was the only one hurt. And that's what I do believe. I don't think he wanted to hurt anyone else. Could be completely wrong. I mean, it's kind of hard to vouch for someone that blows themselves the hell up, Taliban style. But he did seem like an intelligent individual, had a good head on his shoulders. So it seems like everything that happened, it happened according to how he wanted it to. And that's including 0 injuries. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm seeing you guys have been enjoying this news coverage as much as I've been enjoying and giving it to you. Sorry that I didn't release my first video today. You guys normally know I hit you with that 1-2, but I had to do a meeting, business calls, got that out the way. But now moving forward, if you could please click the notification bell to stay updated so you don't miss my next post. Because the next post, as you know, is always the best post. So we're going to continue to break these narratives. We're going to continue to break down these barriers. And if I know anything, I know that this news cycle 2025 is going to be a whole lot more interesting
It's
than
a reality
what we've
show
seen in 2024. Let's go.